did not play against Erik Rosen. I played against Swedish international master Erik Hedman, but I was extremely close on playing Erik Rosen. Like, literally look at this picture that we took right before the round. We were literally sitting one board away from each other. Anyways, guys, this is my round number 3 recap. I played against very strong Swedish international master Erik Hedman, rated almost 2400, and this is how the game went. Hope you guys enjoy the recap. So I went d4 against him, and we only had an hour to prepare, so I wasn't sure if he had prepared anything against me. d4, knight f6, c4, and he went d6. Knight c3, this is just a king's Indian. He went g6, e4, bishop g7, and h3. This is my standard Sicilian. The idea of h3 is to prevent bishop g4. This is typically the bishop that black wants to exchange. This is what I always play. This is the bishop that typically black wants to exchange because it doesn't really have any good square. So h3 is just avoiding black from being able to pin the knight on f3 whenever I go knight f3. So that is the idea behind h3, and this is something that I've played a lot in this channel, but if you've never really seen me play this line, then that's the reason why I play it. So that's the idea behind h3. So you went castles, and in this position I typically when I'm playing blitz I go bishop g5. I went knight f3, and there's actually a reason why I went knight f3 in the game. In most positions, it completely transposes knight f3 or bishop g5. In the game that I played now, it would have transposed as well, I think. But the reason why I went knight f3 instead of bishop g5 is because of this idea. Knight f3, if they go c5, which I thought he might do because this is actually a line that I've played some really weird things against, and I thought that he might have prepared something against this. c5, d5, e6, bishop d3. Okay, this is kind of how it goes. And after e takes d5, e takes d5, which is how I typically play this. And now that I have my knight on f3, after rook e8 check, I have bishop e3, so I can actually block the check. I can block the check with the bishop. If bishop h6, I can just castle. And then this actually, if takes, if they just take this is actually, there's a lot of compensation here for white. So this is the reason why I went knight f3, because if I would have gone bishop g5 over here, and he would have gone c5, d5, d3, d6, e6, takes, if rook check, I don't have bishop e3 anymore. Yeah, that is the reason. Because here I would have to go knight e2, but actually, I've actually played this a couple times over the board, and I've always got crushed playing this. I don't like playing this, to be honest, with white. So that's why I opted for going for this move order instead. He went e5 in this position. That's also the difference. If I go bishop g5, then e5 is not possible, because then I have takes, queen here, there is this whole line basically. So that is the good thing about going bishop g5, that you're avoiding this, but it would have transposed anyways, I think, because I think it would have gone queen e8, and then it would have transposed after knight f3, it would have transposed to what happened in the game. So it could have transposed anyway. So d5, I'm just basically blocking the whole center, and here he went a5, I went bishop g5, now this is transposed to, what I typically play. I think he went knight a6, bishop e2, and queen e8. And the idea of queen e8 is to play this setup, which I actually have difficulties to play against. And I realized they probably had prepared this, because I actually remember drawing against, or actually maybe even losing against like an 1800 in the European Team Chess Championship like a couple years ago with this exact line, and I thought he maybe had seen the game or something. I wasn't sure. So I went g4 here, which is good. This is a move you want to do as white at one point or another. And now he went knight d7. I honestly never truly know how to play this. I know that I've played this against Andrea Bodis a lot of times, and then I've just played queen d2 here, and I've just tried to not lose my queen. I'll show you how. I think that knight d2 is a pretty good move. So I decided to go for queen d2, which I think is okay. Although my opponent said that it's typically known, like queen d2 is typically known for being a bad move. So I guess it was bad. Anyways, I just went queen d2. I think I need to analyze this with some higher level of depth or something to figure it out. I've also seen king of 1, king g2, in these kind of positions. I can actually see this maybe being an idea. Knight dc5, and in this position I castled. I don't know if I should have started going h4, h5 earlier, but I think castles now is fine. I think this is fine. He went bishop d7, which is a good move. And here I'm thinking that h4 was probably good. I think that rook g1 was too slow. Yeah, rook g1 was a mistake. I missed c6. He went in this position after rook g1, he went c6, which is just a really good move that I missed. I played queen e3. I think this is a big mistake. And I suggested to play h4 instead. And I think this move is a bit better. And my idea was that if c takes d5, knight takes d5, knight takes e4, I wanted to go queen e3. The idea being that knight takes g5 is not possible, because then I take with the h pawn, and this is going to be forever a big weakness. So I guess f6 is the only option. And then we were analyzing all sorts of things. And I know that the engine is right now saying that this is lost for me. But this is, yeah. This is the move that he suggested. And this is actually winning due to knight g5. That's so nice. No, but actually this position is it's full of tactics everywhere. The idea with this is just to defend this pawn. But like I said, this is just a lot faster. So in this position, he took over here, which was good. And I went c takes, which was also, I probably needed to take with the e pawn. I think everything started going downhill. I honestly think I just didn't understand the position. So yeah, but it's cool to play these kind of games, because you learn from them, and you start like understanding these kind of positions for the future. Yeah, he went knight b4, and now I went h4, and I think h4 was probably h4 was a big mistake. Probably I had to go king b1 just to get myself out of the c file and have my bishop have a little bit more of space. I think actually h4 maybe makes, maybe it's not too great, because it takes away the only square for the bishop. You see, guys, I missed this idea that after h4, I was just trying to push as much as possible. I was trying to like get my speed up now, but the issue was that after f6, bishop h6, which is the only move that I have to not lose the bishop, there is takes, and there's this knight check over here, which is just so annoying. Such an annoying check. I went king b1 because, I mean, where am I supposed to go? I gotta go somewhere. Knight takes f2. He's threatening both my rook and this pawn on g4. And here I thought for a long time, because, I mean, I thought that I had to, try my best to set up some sort of interesting idea or some sort of trap. And the best thing that I could come up with in this position was g5. So honestly, the opening was what went wrong in this game for me. Here, I was analyzing all sorts of crazy things. If knight takes h1, I was analyzing like h5. And I was analyzing all sorts of crazy things. I was thinking if knight f2, I was thinking that I could maybe take. And I was thinking that if h takes g6, maybe I could go queen h4. And then maybe if like the knight moved, I could go rook h1, which I can, but there's other ways of defending. So I was like analyzing all kinds of crazy things. I guess he has knight h3 instead, and then, sorry, queen h4. I guess he maybe has knight h3 instead. I was thinking here if queen takes g6, maybe I have g takes f6. Now my rook is, protected by the knight. But I was analyzing what happens, because now the queen is pinned. But I was analyzing what happens if knight g4, this. And then I was like, queen h3, I think I was analyzing to go knight over here. Knight takes a4, king a1. I thought I had this position in my head. I was thinking about all these sorts of things, and I thought for quite a while here. So I ended up going for g5. I was thinking about rook h2, knight takes g4. I was thinking about this as well, and then rook h g2, but I didn't like this due to bishop takes f3. I thought that I needed the knight, and I thought that this was going to be too easy to defend. After h5, there is g5, and my queen is trapped. And I don't have anything to sack over here with. So anyways, oh yeah, so takes. Yeah, I decided to just take back, just to kind of keep a bit of the pressure going. But he just played this really well, to be honest. He went queen f7, I think, which is pretty good. I went knight h4 just to try to take this pawn. I couldn't really see anything better, but there is just queen g7, and He's forcing the queen exchange, so he just played this really safely and nicely. I took on g6. I thought, you know, I might as well get a pawn for this. Queen takes, g takes. Yeah, he was just getting an extra pawn. And then he took on e4, and this was just super hard for me. I really wanted this move to work, guys. I really did. Because look, knight takes e4, bishop d3. If he would go like somewhere random, then it's nice. Then this is really good. Because I saw that here, there's rook f1, this, bishop here. No, sorry, not this. There is takes and queen, of course. So obviously I wanted this to work, but it doesn't work due to rook f4 or even knight d2, king c1, and then e4. Doesn't work, so it didn't work. So I went something like rook g1, just hoping and praying. He went rook f4, knight g2 just to kick the rook away, rook f6. This was just, he just played this so well. G takes h7, king takes h7. No, sorry, actually here I didn't take back. I just went knight h4 to defend this pawn. So I was kind of going back and forth, but I mean, I'm just going to be an exchange down, and, you know, he's going to have some extra pawns, and this is just a dead end game. Yeah, I think I took here, knight takes, wanted to take at least one pawn back. King h7, and yeah, I even trapped my own knight, because, I mean, it's just so lost. He went rook f7. And I just went for the last attempt of doing something like this, but he just defended, and then I resigned. So that was the game, guys. Anyways, it was the opening that kind of went south for me in this game, and that's okay. These things happen, and we learn from them, and that's everything that matters. So have a wonderful rest of your morning, evening, day, whatever it is, wherever you live. Stay happy, stay healthy, smile a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Big virtual hug. Way!